is the Wise Fab kit, so if that gives you any idea. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today, it is dyno day for my S13 LS drift car. The car's on the dyno right now. I just put a brand new Holley system on it, so we need to go ahead and tune that brand new ECU for the car. So without further ado, let's go get to it. I'll give you guys some updates. It should be an exciting day. Let's go. Right now what we're doing, we're changing out the spark plugs so that way we can go ahead and do some power pulls with the car. We ran into a little bit of a snag. One of the spark plug threads is actually a little bit messed up. Brandon, my tuner right now, actually went out to go ahead and grab a thread chaser that hopefully that way we can get in a new set of spark plugs. We got them all in except for the one because of the threads are messed up. So he's gonna go pick up a thread chaser. Hopefully we can fix those threads. That way we can get a fresh spark plug in and then we can start doing some power pulls. He's got everything set up and it's ready to make some power. We just gotta get that spark plug in. Fingers crossed. Well, unfortunately, guys, we ended up blowing out a rear main seal on the dyno. There's a couple different factors of why it might have blown out. One being I might have overfilled the oil. That's a potential possibility. Another one is that the car wasn't quite used to the higher RPMs. I'm not sure what the RPMs were at before, to be honest with you. The gauge was really off. So this new Holley system, it might be a little more accurate. And then also another thing might be that it was just getting old, needed to be replaced. Which the good thing is I need to get back in the transmission and redo some clutch lines. If I knew what I knew now, I would have done it in the first place. But when I put the T56 in, the clutch lines were a little bit off. So I'll take the transmission back off. We're gonna redo the clutch lines. We're gonna redo the rear main seal. So a little work ahead of us. But the good news is that the car made 400 horsepower wheel. On pull number 5, so he was able to smooth out the graph where it looks really nice. I'll put it on the screen here for you so you can see it. So I guess technically 397, but we're gonna round that up to 400. He says that he would like to raise the rev limiter a little bit and he can make a little bit more up top. He says it could make some more. He said he wasn't quite done with it, so we might be back. So we'll probably get this thing fixed up. I need to figure out where I'm going. We'll probably get this car fixed up and head back down to the dyno one of these days, but at least now, once I fix the car, I'll have something to drive at the drift event here in 2 weeks. Wow. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to go back in the S chassis. I'm going to go ahead and catch you guys up what I've been doing. Now I've been doing a lot of this stuff off camera just to get ready for this 2020 drift season. And today I'm going to do a quick overview of what I've done with my S chassis, my S13 and my S14, and kind of where it's going to progress later this year. So starting off, if you don't know, my S14 is a 2JZ car. Been building that car for about 2 years now. My S13 is an LS car. I bought that from FDF. I have done a little bit of refresh on it. So my S13 is what I'm gonna be taking out this year to the drift events for the most part, and the S14 hopefully will debut later this year in the season. It's so cool looking at these cars side by side, especially since the S14 is finally starting to take shape. So I'm gonna start off with the S13. Like I said, this is a 6.0 liter LS engine. It's an LQ9 mated to a T56. It was mated to a 4-speed dog box. However, due to some events, I ended up just putting a T56 in it. And so far so good. The recent thing I did was the Holley engine system. So brand new wiring, ECU, all that goodness from Holley. So I ended up fixing the oil leak. It ended up being not the rear main seal, but the actual oil pressure sensor. I have a shot of it right here. So apparently it's due to over torquing the sensor. So picked a new one up at AutoZone, threw it in. We're ready to rock. That's the one nice thing about the LS, is that they have parts everywhere for these cars, which is super handy. Like the JZ, I'd have to obviously order something. Well, some things are at AutoZone for like a Supra, but not very many. I ended up throwing just a crappy back bumper on this car just so it would have something. It does have a full tube front and rear. I tinted these windows, didn't come out very nice, but don't look at it too long. If you saw in the last couple of videos, I've been refreshing the interior. The interior is pretty much set. I do need to wire up some tail lights along with a few other little things here and there. This car has FDF angle in the front and FDF grip kit in the rear, as you can tell by the lime green arms down at the bottom. Full tube front end. There's so many hours in this car, guys. It's actually insane how many hours have been put into this thing. And I am so ready to drive it. It's been way too long. I've never really gotten fully comfortable in this car. I've drifted it before, but not very much. So I'm hoping that it will now be more reliable, since I redid all the wiring on the car. The electric water pump, the fans, I redid all that to a simple switch panel. So we should be set, so that's really exciting. Let me go ahead, pull this thing forward right here so I can get this S14 down. I know you guys want to see that. Oh, but before I do, I actually tested this car out a little bit last night. I got one shot for you that's pretty cool. I'll let you guys see that. So moving on to my beloved S14, I've had this car for years now. I don't even know how many years. And finally, it's taking shape. I'm gonna go ahead and run through you underneath here, kind of what's been going on. So starting from the rear of the car, we do have a radium fuel cell in the back. A buddy of mine, Charles, did all this custom fab work for me. He mounted all this. We got the YS fab in the rear. We got the BC coilovers. We got some Z32s, calipers. I do have a dual caliper setup for this car. However, it's not on there quite yet. Reinforced subframe, solid diff bushings. Moving on, currently the drive shaft and exhaust is not in because I actually need to run these fuel lines today. We got a brand new CDO 9, fresh from Nissan, with the Collins adapter stuff to the 2JZ engine. The Collins stuff's pretty good overall. Never had a problem with it. Actually just bled the clutch last night. We got the YS fab up front with the Z32. With the Z32, brand new calipers from Part Shop Max. Brand new rotors, wheel bearings, everything's fresh on this car. BC's up front as well. For all you original subscribers, you guys have seen this car quite a lot, so let's go ahead and get it down. I'll give you another look. This thing is looking really good. Gets me so excited every time I look at this 2JZ. I just want it to run, so soon. Stock 2JZ GT VVTi. Literally all I did, ARP head, studs, and a head gasket. That's nothing else has been touched on it, so it's bone stock. I've refreshed little things like water pump, alternator, little things like that. Some pulleys down in here. So she's gonna be pretty fresh for the most part. Stock intake manifold here, which I should have upgraded it because it looks a little bit ugly. However, I think it'll do. We got a lot of Chase Bay's goodies in this engine bay. Brake booster eliminator right here, which also runs into the clutch line down there. So got all that with the brake bias down in there, so I can adjust how much brake bias front versus rear. Chase Bay's power steering kit for the 2J, so high pressure line running down to the rack. We do have Radium Engineering fuel rail, which is tucked down in there real nicely. And then they also ended up going with fuel pressure sensor down here along with a oil pressure sensor. So got a couple sensors down there which I need to tidy up. I just installed these two big Mishimoto radiator fans which have a pretty good clearance because the radiator actually is tucked in this core support right here. So I cut out a little bit of the radiator core support, tucked the radiator, which came out real nice, and also I got a good gap for the intercooler versus radiator. I still need to figure out my oil cooler setup and my, I think, power steering setup as well somewhere, but that's gonna be after the car gets running and driving. I painted my intercooler piping last night, some textured black. It's actually It's actually truck bed liner, to be honest with you, but it looks really nice for the amount of time and money to put into it. The turbo I'm gonna be running is this little guy right here. This is a Garrett GTX 3576 R Gen 2. So not the hugest thing in the world, but it should get the job done. And this is a CX Racing intake manifold with some tile wastegate, and also got the tile blow-off valve. So not a huge turbo, but it should spool really, really quickly, which that's what I was mainly looking for. The power figure for this car, I'm trying to go for 4 to 550, anywhere in between there wheel. I'm satisfied with that. I'd like to have a couple different boost settings, so I have actually the switch where I can change the boost settings within the car, so I can bump it from 400 wheel to maybe 5 with just a flip of a switch, which is actually really handy, especially if I'm trying to run different tracks and not just blow off my tires. I'm going to talk about where this car is going to be going. When this thing's done, it's going to be pretty rad. So my biggest holdup on this car is actually the wiring. So the engine harness is Wiring Specialties plug and play stuff, which is really nice. However, I went with the ECU Master ECU. That's just the PMU down there. Top of the line ECU Master high-tech stuff, which is super cool. That's the PMU, so that is pretty much the relay box, but it's all solid state, software based system. So that stuff's really cool. However, I found out not that many people around Tulsa, where I'm from, know anything about that, or even in the Midwest. There's a very select few people who know anything about the ECU Master integration, which is my biggest hurdle, because this car should have been running like a year ago. That was my biggest setback, is to try to figure out how to integrate the PMU, which is the solid state relay box, I guess, and the ECU, my switch panel, and then the digital dash plugs and plays. But so what I'm actually going to do is actually send this car off in a couple days down to Dallas to Trackstar. Ethan down there, I've talked to him. He says that he's very familiar with this stuff. So kind of one of those things where it's just better off maybe to send it off, get it done right, especially with the amount of money and time I have in this car, instead of me trying to do it taking like another 2 years and then it potentially not even being correct. So kind of biting the bullet there. What I need to do before I send it off to get the wiring done is make sure all the chassis stuff's done, run the fuel lines, little things like that. Because once the wiring's done, I'm gonna have him fire up the car, make sure everything's good, and I'm actually have him dyno tune it down in Dallas. So Dallas is about a 4-hour drive for me. I'm actually taking the car down there in 2 days, so I need to get this thing rocking and rolling. But I wanted to show you guys first before I send it off for about a month to get it all finalized, which the car's not all that far off. It needs some stuff. It needs a lot of little things. So that's something he's going to look over is like the water feeds and the water neck. So I'm going to have him like cut it off, weld on the AN fittings for the radiator, determine what's the best route for the turbo water line and return, and like block off little stuff. And like if I need to delete some sensors that I don't need or vacuum I don't need, little things like that I don't really know a whole lot about the 2J setup. That way Ethan at Trackstar and those guys can go ahead and take care of that and get this thing on the road finally, because it is way overdue. Moving on to the cockpit of the vehicle, I do have the ECU Master ADU display dash, super fancy, super cool. I'm ready to drive this thing. Keep looking at it. Got a Sparco in here. This is actually going to be the passenger seat. I need to get a Halo seat in here for competition. Since they changed the rules for the Pro-Am events, you have to have the Halo seat, the one that has little wings on the side. But this will be, I just mounted this last night. That way this car can be on the dyno with a seat in it. If you're new to the channel, I actually ended up painting this car myself, and it came out really nice. I painted it right here. I still have some of the plastic hung up. I need to take that down. But it is actually a Hyundai Veloster Gray. Looks really nice in the sun, and it'll look cool, especially with a fun cool livery on it one of these days. Moving on the back, here's an upper shot of the Radium fuel cell, which I really like this thing. It's super high quality. Doesn't budge at all. I'm going to be running E85 in this thing, which is kind of recommended. This is the inline fuel filter, which I'll need to integrate, along with the flex fuel sensor, in case I want to run some pump gas or a mixture that will read the fueling. Battery box is also in there, and this thing is looking good. So it is the next day. Ended up starting to box some stuff up last night. We got some turbo stuff, wastegate, fuel lines. This is all the wiring in here, ECU, PMUs, and the white boxes. Got some AN fittings, intercooler, blow-off valve, radiator stuff. So I'm trying to really organize this the best I can. That way it'll simplify things when Trackstar goes to install some of these things. I'm actually going to have him install the fuel lines, because I realized I got the wrong size fuel line for the return. And I need to put in the fuel filter and the flex fuel, as you saw. I'm gonna have him do it to make sure that it gets where it needs to be in the car. I was trying to test fit this wheel. This is not really the wheel I'm gonna go with, but as you can see, the angle is pretty insane. I need to align this car because it's rubbing really bad. I think I need to run like a 17. This is an 18, so it's a little bit big for this car, but hopefully it'll be enough where I can roll it on and off the trailer. This will be on the front, but this is a crazy amount of angle. This is the Wise Fab kit, so if that gives you any idea, we're going to be doing some sig backies, some good drifting with this thing one of these days. I am dreaming. And I leave tomorrow morning to go take this car down there to finalize everything. So I'm gonna go get to work. Jordan's gonna head over. We're gonna go ahead and pack everything up, get this car on the trailer. I'll check back in with you guys and we'll be ready to rock. Well, I got everything loaded up, guys. She's out here. It's starting to sprinkle. I have everything covered as much as I can. S14's on the trailer. Let me show you. She's sitting good, ready to go down and get finished up. I've got really far with this car, I must say. I'm pretty proud of myself. I'm not a mechanic. I have the trash bag over some wires, trash bag over the intake, everything else. It's starting to rain, so I probably should get going. But car's there, everything's good. Got all the boxes in the back of the truck, ready to rock. I'm gonna leave you guys here. Next time you see that car, it's gonna be running and driving. I'm so excited. Don't forget, go hit the thumbs up and subscribe, guys. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. I'll catch you guys in the next video. There goes a